Good morning. Hi everyone. So we are back. It's another Saturday morning and let me just come on camera. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, good morning. So hello Swirly, howdy howdy, and Brian, if you made it back, welcome back. I know you had said can't wait yesterday. But today's the day that we do this. Today's the day that we stream our comic collaboration. Good morning, Polka Latte. So good to see you. I am a little bit more energetic this morning because I went back to drinking energy drinks. So I have a little more energy than I did last time. I also feel way more prepared. I don't have like the crazy bedhead that I had before. It was just a rough morning the previous Saturday, but not this time. We are prepared. I even have the book ready. So we will be able to do this contest piece. So if you didn't see already the comic trailer for this, and let me know if you did see the stream trailer or if you have not seen it. Hello, Bing. I see you buffering there. Good morning. But basically what we do is this book I picked up at Barnes & Noble comes full of empty paneling, just all these beautiful pages of empty panels, and we create live on the spot a comic in stream that we can fill these panels with, and that's something that we've been doing for, I think, 15-ish streams now. I think we were like really starting to get up there on the streams. But yeah, I mean, we're not 15 pages in because some pages take longer than others to do, but we are about 15 streams in. I'd have to go back and count. I'm not 100% sure. I maybe should have counted that first. But I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. And this is the page that we worked on last stream. I started inking it. Let me go ahead and remove my camera so you can see this. Here we go. So this is the page we were working on. We had the conclusion, the very not so surprising conclusion to round one of our comic competition, which, as you know, if I flip back a couple pages, they were having this glorious bake-off. And there's a little bit of sabotage going on right about here in this part of the stream. And I'm gonna need your guys' help with something today. So if you see Space Raptor Infinite show up in the comment section, in the chat, I need you to ask him to resend that reference. Because if I don't see him and you see him, before he dips back out, make sure to ask him to re-email me the reference for his character because I don't have the color scheme. I tried to clean out my inbox, but I accidentally ended up deleting everything because technology, and I lost it. So here's, you know, kind of a partial view of his character here. And I no longer have the reference for his color scheme, so he's still uncolored on this page. I'd like to get this page finished so I can add it to our Discord where all the finished pages live now. But yeah, here's where we were. This was round one. Bear in mind, we are in a elimination OCT here. So this is like an original character tournament, but we're doing it in teams. And round one, they made breakfast. And Polka Latte, I am very distracted with work this morning, so I may not participate much, but I am listening. That's okay. Thank you for having me on your headphones while you're working. I appreciate that. I like to know that we are all hanging out together on Saturday morning, regardless of what we may all be doing. So let's flip back over here now to where we are, which was the epic conclusion of round one. And I would like to finish inking but not coloring these today because I would like us to be able to get into the next page and start deciding what we're gonna do to round two and like what each team is doing and what it looks like and what you guys want me to draw basically. So with that in mind, oh, thank you by the way for the likes. I appreciate it. I've been streaming for just a few minutes now and we already have a couple of likes, so I really thank you. Super appreciate it. And yeah, let me come back on screen here. So, it's my little bookmark. It's my toasted marshmallow drawn on a loose leaf piece of paper. We're gonna move that off to the side and take a look at some things we have going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this book over a little bit, because one of the things that I was thinking about when I was inking these last night, because I always wait till the last minute before the next stream to actually finish up the previous stuff. This panel up here of Bing's character, Bing, if you're still buffering, I'm talking about your guy here now. So your character up here, when we had him sort of like the poor taste tester retching in the bin, I was thinking we have so much panel and he's so small in the frame that maybe we should try like zooming in. And if this was digital, I could just grab it, you know, like stretch it, expand it, but it's traditional, so I actually have to redraw the whole thing. But it's just a stick figure pose. I can do that. This is fine. Bing, I am here and I have been mentioned. This is true. You've been mentioned. We're talking about your fella up here in the corner and how I feel like this whole panel is just, there's so much wasted opportunity here. I feel like this bin should be like this big, and down here, well, maybe not down, because now I'm wasting all this top part. So hang on, I will get this right. We will get this right. For your character here, what if we made this bin like this? And let me actually remove. There it goes. We can't use it now because I've erased it. I can't just hide the layer. Once it's gone, it's gone. All right, so we're gonna zoom this in. We're gonna make this panel a little bigger. We're gonna give your character a little bit more space to kind of like be seen here. By the way, let me know if music is too loud or not loud enough or whatever the case might be. I have once again switched it up because lo and behold, my last stream was copyright claimed. And even though I was using a copyright-free playlist, graciously provided by a YouTube channel that claims to be copyright-free music for streamers, yeah, it was claimed. So I'm no longer doing that anymore. What I've actually resorted to doing at this point is going into the YouTube. Let me show you. I sound a little far away. The mic is like, well, if I lift it, I guess you really can't see it. Maybe it is far away. Maybe I gotta bring it closer. Here, I'll try to I'll trade the mic with my mouse. So I'll push the mouse back and the mic forward. It's like Tetris on my desk, trying to figure out where everything can go. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. And I'll try to point it a little more at my face. Yeah, so check this out. I'm going to display capture. That's just a Pinterest for pose references, but I have come here into the YouTube audio library so that I can play inspirational, happy, and bright music. That's the mood. But notice this, attribution not required. This is all royalty-free music. Attribution not required, provided by YouTube themselves in the YouTube audio library. So, if for any reason we end up with some kind of like a copyright claim, I'm gonna be very shocked because this time I went to YouTube themselves to resolve this issue with trusting people who lie about providing copyright-free music. So I think maybe hopefully this time we are safe from the copyright claimants. And I will actually be able to keep the stream unlisted if I so choose, which I may. I don't know. I usually unlist them after we stream just because I don't necessarily want to clutter my gallery of like edited videos that people would maybe want to rewatch with live streams. But I do have them on my front page in a playlist so that if you ever want to catch up on a live stream, they're right there. You can always find them. So you guys can see this, right? Yeah, you can see it. So we've got our bin here now. We've got our trash bin for Bing's character. Bing's character, is his name Sebastian? I feel like it was Sebastian, is that right? Help me out here. I need to write it down so I don't have to go back through like all of our streams to figure out where it was that we named him. Because I'm gonna make him a stream trading card, and I need a name for that. Speaking of the stream trading cards, we are so close to having the full deck. We are missing, I say missing, I don't mean actually missing. I have 4 left to draw. So this week I knocked out 2 more. I don't know why I'm like slowing down making these. It used to go by so quickly. It was just like bam, 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 stream trading card, boom. I think the larger the deck grows, the more my anxiety like rises to make sure that I'm staying consistent and that I'm creating a quality product. And so the harder it gets to continue making them, only because I'm adding pressure to myself with each new card. Yeah, so I kind of feel like, oh weird, am I like just playing the same 2 songs? Let's, okay, this one's new. Bing, I don't think we ever settled on a name, but that's a fine name to me. Are you sure? If you're sure, we can use Sebastian, but if you'd like to name him, we could do that too. If we haven't settled on one yet. I don't want to force any names on your OC, so let me know. But now I feel like I need a reference. And he's back here, so this is our guy. And trying to like commit it to memory so that when I flip the page I can draw him. He's got like a tie, a vest, a long sleeve shirt, and his top hat with a little like chimney thing. Little chimney arrow coming off of it, but now, like, well, I guess I should first figure out the pose and then dress the character, right? Also, let me know if the music's too loud, because I feel like this song might be slightly louder than the previous. I can always turn them down. Okay. Hello, Ollivander, Edric Asaro the villain. Your name gets like longer and longer and longer each time I see you. Hello and good morning and welcome to stream. I am knocking out the rest of this page, just the line art, and then we're going to move on to a new page, and I'm going to start sourcing from you guys what you want me to draw. So just doing a little warm-up with the top 2 panels here from the previous stream's page. I don't know how my phone is like ringing while I'm streaming. It's so weird. We're just gonna silence that. And then, yeah, and then we'll get into contest round 2, which, as you all probably already know, is going to be a lunch round. So the first one was breakfast, second one is lunch, and then after we eliminate a team from that one, there will only be 2 teams left for dinner, and then we'll have our grand finale with the dinner competition. But before we get there, I'm actually just finishing these top 2 panels as sort of my warm-up for me, and then, again, we're going to start round 2, the lunch round here. Hello, this is the first stream of yours that I am watching. Hello, Sophia, welcome to stream. So what we are doing is, there's this beautiful book I picked up at Barnes & Noble called Create Comics, and it comes with all of these pages of empty paneling, and we are just creating a comic. We're filling it in. And this is the page we worked on last stream. I'm gonna knock out the line art here, and we're gonna move on to a new page, and you guys are gonna tell me what to draw. And that's how this works. The chat decides what our comic is about, what characters we use, and usually off stream I go back and I color everything and then reveal it to you on the next stream so you can see everything in color. That's probably the quickest summary I've ever done of what these streams are, so I think I got it down to like maybe 10 seconds. What do you guys think? But yeah, welcome to have you here, and I do have a question for you and everybody else in the chat right now. Since we are doing a lunch round competition, because so far the narrative has been a royal bake-off, and all of these guys are competing, these teams of characters, OCs that you guys have created, are competing for this contest, and the next round is a lunch round. So my question for you is, what is your favorite thing to eat for lunch? And I'm gonna put that in the comments. What is your favorite dish to eat for lunch? In fact, I won't even say dish, I'll just say thing, because it doesn't have to be constricted to a dish. Chicken and waffles. Thing. That sounds really good. Sounds like breakfast to me. But it could be lunch. Nobody said, there are no rules here. There are no rules. You can eat what you want. These are your favorite things. You're allowed to say whatever you want for your favorite. If you want to have breakfast for dinner, you can have breakfast for dinner. I love breakfast for dinner. I love having, like, if you ever go to like a Waffle House or Denny's or I don't know, House of Pancakes, right? International IHOP. You can get breakfast all day, and it's so good. Breakfast for dinner is amazing. I love breakfast for dinner. Austin Blanton, hello. No, there are no rules here. We have no rules. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you usually eat chicken and waffles more often as dinner than for breakfast. Yeah, some things are like that. I think for breakfast, maybe we only eat heavy breakfast maybe on like special occasions. And then most mornings, due to just the nature of like our scheduling and our culture is to be like out the door and starting your day and kicking off whatever you do, whether it's work or school or, you know, whatever. Maybe breakfast tends to be on the lighter side, even though at least science back in my primary school days suggested that breakfast should be the heaviest meal because it's like the most important meal of the day. And you would think like eat breakfast, get all your carbs and stuff in breakfast because it'll power you, right? Energy through the whole day. But then, yeah, I don't know if that's still the case, if that's what people still believe, but Austin says the rule is that there must always be rules. That sounds like, I don't know, that sounds like a self-fulfilling prophecy right there. Basically we live in a society and therefore cannot breakfast. Oh, sad face. Sad face. Yeah, I cannot breakfast. I love breakfast. Breakfast foods are the best foods. Really, like biscuits and gravy, waffles, pancakes, cereal, even oatmeal, right? Like you get oatmeal and you put like all your toppings in it and it's a nice hot breakfast. Eggs and bacon and sausage. Good morning, Brian. Hey, you made it. Welcome to the stream. Austin, the Joker supports breakfast. Are we pro Joker now? Is that what I'm hearing? How are you doing? I am doing great. We are off to a really good start this morning. I am feeling very awake, which is amazing because last time we streamed, I was struggling. But happy to be here and so happy to see you guys here. How are you doing this morning? And the question I put out to everybody is, what is your favorite thing to eat for lunch? And it can be anything. We're debating the rules of having breakfast for lunch and dinner, which there are no rules, despite the rule that there must always be rules, Austin. So, yeah, what is your favorite thing to eat for lunch? Edric and Austin and Sophia and Brian, what are you guys' preferences? What do you prefer to eat for lunch since we are heading into our lunch round for the book? And poor Bing's character here, oh, the poor fella. Let's put like one hand holding like like holding the bin here, right? And maybe another one right here, because he's just having it rough. He's having a rough time. I feel like the music did get louder. Wow. I gotta like bring it down a notch because it's getting a little bit loud. At least to me. I don't even know if you could. Can you guys hear it? Let me know. Let me know if the music's loud, not loud, whatever the case might be. Austin says, my favorite thing to eat for lunch is food. Shocker. No, I like crayons. I prefer to eat crayons for lunch, honestly. No, I'm not. That was a lie. As well as physical matter of the consumable variety. Sophia, I think it's more of an Irish thing that I like a crisp sandwich. Okay, I didn't know that, but that's good info. Brian, my mom's used to make me a sandwich and my auntie put a big apple, so I love those on lunch. Aw, good wholesome memories. That's awesome. Oh, music is okay for you. Good to know. Austin, the real question is, what does a food dragon eat? Does a sugar dragon eat cupcakes or does it eat something else? Does a sugar dragon eat cupcakes? I mean, I don't know. Like, if he's made out of sugar, or is his name Sugar Dragon because he consumes sugar? You know, kind of like how an anteater is named an anteater. Because it eats ants. So, I don't know. It depends on the naming convention and where it came from and whether or not that would be considered cannibalism. Oh, man. So... Alright, so I'm gonna like put the head here. This poor fella, just struggling here. He's just having it so rough. Actually, let's put the plane in the face like this. And then we'll arch the back like this. Bring the arm like here. Poor guy. He's just having the worst kind of day after eating that. So for context, this is Bing's character, and his role here, I'm not just drawing somebody retching for the fun of it, like he is the royal food taster, okay? This guy, bottom corner. And these cretins up here swapped the sugar and salt bags for this team. They were sabotaging, and so they created their dish with a whole lot of salt rather than sugar, and he had to eat it as the royal taste tester, you know, protecting these guys up here. Hence, the outcome. So yeah, that's why I'm drawing this. I am so sorry, I just smacked the pole that's holding the camera up, so it's getting a little wobbly. But now he needs like a hat, right? This guy's got like his hat that goes like this. Yeah, there we go. So I think that brings him way more into frame than what we had previously. And yeah, poor guy, right? I feel so bad for him. And it looks like you guys felt really bad for him too last stream because you guys voted to kick off the team that sabotaged and even awarded first place to the team with the ruined dish. So even though they definitely didn't have the best tasting dish, they got first place because you guys were feeling so gracious and so generous that you voted to give them the win, the W in round one. And then these guys, the team that did the sabotaging, got eliminated. Which is what all of this says. So then yeah. And I gotta kind of like add some bodies to these 3 floating heads here. These are supposed to be this, you know, family up here, the royal family, discussing their decision about all that stuff. So, you know, like, obviously we're like sort of like looking at this in reverse a little bit, getting the story a little bit in reverse. So I'm sure you guys are keeping up. You got it. You understand what's happening here. Being a couple months ago, I actually ate some M&Ms from the vending machine at work and found myself in a similar situation. Had to leave work early. Oh no, from M&Ms? Wow, that's not good. But that just for being part of the royalty. That's what he gets for being part of the problem. Yeah, it happens. Austin Blanton don't want to split any hairs. Brian, oh, yeah. So this has been, you guys have been surprising me a lot, actually, during this whole process, because in the beginning, when we first started doing these streams, you guys gave me all these characters, your own OCs, your own brain children, right? And then it came time to compete and start eliminating people. And the first characters or teams you were willing to throw under the bus and sacrifice were your own. They were your own characters' teams. Everybody was finding excuses and reasons why they should eliminate their own OCs, and I was just in shock that you weren't protecting your characters. You were too nice to go after somebody else's, so you were basically just sacrificing your own original characters. So I think the caliber of creatives that I have in my chat are the too sweet and the too nice to inconvenience anyone else kind. You guys are all obviously so precious, have hearts of gold, and we're like willing to sacrifice your own characters instead of like picking on anybody else's. Is the competition called the Hungry Games? It should be. It should be. We've just been calling it the Royal Bake Off, as that's just how it's kind of evolved, but I appreciate the pun. I like it. Yeah, we started here. Oh, let me go full screen. We'll just page through them. I won't read everything, because many of you have already seen this, but I will page through it real quick for the ones who have not. So let me pop this book up here and shift it a little bit so the chat's not obscuring it. So we started here. This was day 1, stream 1, and we ended up with these 4 characters, Cat, Sprout, and these 2 fellas right down here, and created the situation where they happened to find this cart. Day 2, we found some more characters, Lily B, Candy, Mrs. Claus, all hiding out around the cart. Day 3, we ended up with our villains, our bandits, because we had like a villains bad guy stream. And these 4 right here in this lineup are who we ended up with. And then the fifth page, we did just sort of like creating cohesion, basically with all of the stuff that we had created thus far in the first 3 pages. Here we sort of like made it all make sense. That's what all this dialogue is. They're all kind of like tying their stories and situations together. Hi, Deadlight Switch, welcome to the stream. Why does the flower have such a big butt? Oh no, too much fertilizer. Yeah, he's got some junk in the trunk, don't he? Oh man, I mean, sometimes you need to watch the suffering of your own creations. Yeah, I mean, we do. We create things and then we make them suffer. Yeah. Deadlight Switch. Hi, yeah. Death and Roses, good morning. I find writing my detective comic strip just needs some revision and page counting. That's amazing. I'm really glad for you. You're like, making progress and that feels great. I'm so happy for you. Right, so we can move on to the next page, and here we decided that we were having this Royal Bake Off. So they were all fighting in this page, just to summarize it. They were all fighting over the goods in the cart that she's actually hiding in, and the supplies that were supposed to be in there they were like food supplies. It's like baking supplies, you know. They were all heading towards this Royal Bake Off. And the bandits try to like cut in and steal, because why work for it when you can take it from somebody else who worked hard, right? And then turns out in the process of doing all of that highway robbery, they ruined the supply. So now nobody has anything, and they don't know what to do about it. So this character, a new character we acquired on this stream, pops in and says, "What are you guys waiting for? Royal Bake Off is that way," and thus the plot was devised. And so everybody is processing toward the kingdom, hence the lovely sign that says kingdom, which we decided needed to come out of the woods, and thus we found ourselves at the beach, which is nice. Nice change of scenery. They're going through some team registration here. And then we began the challenge. Austin says, did you set up the panel layouts beforehand, or do you do it once you have it scripted out? So are you asking Death and Roses, or are you asking me? I'll answer for me, and then Death and Roses, you can answer for you in the chat. But for me, for this comic, all the paneling is pre-printed. That's what the book is. It's a bunch of blank paneling, and we're just taking what we got story-wise and taking what we're given panel-wise and then making it work. We're figuring it out literally as we go. We are flying by the seat of our pants, inventing on the spot, and this is what we've come up with so far. And I think it's going really well. So I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun, and we'll continue to do this until we have a winning team at the end. So this was round one. They're all setting up their stations, introducing the competition host, which is, let me skip this song because it's got language and it's gonna get blah, 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 blah. It's gonna get hard to hear with me talking at the same time. There we go. Yeah. So our host, given to us by Lurking Tony. If you know him, he was here for a couple streams, and we have Mock now, which it's abbreviated here, M.O.C for Master of Ceremonies, but then for his stream trading card, which you might have seen on the thumbnail for this video, he his name will actually be spelled Mock with a K, M-O-C-K, just for his actual name, because we talked afterwards and Tony said, yeah, Mock is a great name, it's fine, we'll go with Mock. So his name is actually Mock now. Master of Ceremonies and named Mock, so it was meant to be. That's just destiny. You were asking Perry, Death and Roses does answer though. She said, I start drawing after I finish the script. No, that makes sense. Asking Perry, it's very interesting. Panel layouts have their own science to them. It's so true. It's so true. When you're creating your own comic, figuring out paneling, I actually have a book for that. Might be able to grab that later and show you guys and recommend it. So working the comic into pre-established layout is unique. Yeah, it is. Is Candy's girlfriend on it, Brian? I don't think so, because I only have 2 of Deadlight Switch's characters. I have, so this one here, he didn't have a name at the time that we were given him. Hi Nancy, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you made it. To answer Brian's question, we have Dr. Crow here. He wasn't named before. He was given to us in one of the streams, but this is a Deadlight Switch character, and we gave him a name during stream. And then Candy up here is Deadlight Switch's other character that we have in this book. I don't have any other ones, so if Candy has a girlfriend, she's not in this book, because I don't have that character. But this page is a great page to look at our team lineup. We're only missing one team here because we added another one after we finished this page once we progressed the story. But at the time, these were the 3 teams that we had. And then we added Felix here, Space Raptor Infinite's character. But this is not the same character that I was talking about earlier where I still need the color scheme. That character is on this page. Perhaps the same species, but definitely not the same character. So I am missing a reference here for this character's color scheme. If you see Infinite Space Raptor in the chat, hit him up for that information for me, because I want to catch him before if he pops in, I want to catch him before he pops out. So if you see him, ask him. By the way, this is probably the first time I've showed up on camera with like chipped nail polish. I'm sorry if my nails look a little gross. I've been doing a lot of manual labor that has been just making it impossible to keep my nails painted, which you guys will see and learn all about very soon in one of my upcoming videos. I'm really excited for it because I'm basically doing a studio office remodel slash upgrade, and I also chose to right, Austin. I also chose to make content about it, make a video about it, and kind of share that with you guys. Share the process, share my space, and share a little bit of like background on me and my work that I do. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that will be coming out soon. Just another little like artist lifestyle vlog style video. I know I did a poll and those didn't rank very high, but there were some people, some of you were interested in that, so it is coming. So right, this was challenge number 1, the breakfast challenge. We've discussed this, and I actually need to draw these guys on the next page because these were the results of challenge number 1. And then we're gonna go into lunch. We're not gonna break for lunch. I'm not saying like get off stream and go to lunch. I mean like in the book, we're gonna go to lunch. We're gonna have each of these teams that remain, minus like this guy's team because his team got kicked out for bad behavior. We're gonna take the other 3 teams, and with this paneling, we will somehow tell the story of what they are creating for the lunch category in this competition. So no new characters. No, I do add new characters as we go along because I want everybody to have a chance to. If you didn't tell me, I'd never notice about your notes. Yeah, but I noticed though. Like I noticed it was bothering me, so I had to say something. Yeah, I kind of keep the door open for new characters all the time. The reason it gets harder to work them into the story as we go because we start getting more and more established in the plot, but there's always a way. There's always a way. I believe that we can creatively find a way. So if you want to submit a new character, I have 2 ways that you can do it. You can either join my Discord and submit a character reference sheet. Well, there's 3 ways you can do this. 3. There's 3 fingers. 3 ways to do this. 1, join my Discord. The link is down in the description, and you can submit a character that you've already created in the art channel. So it's called art channel, art gallery. There we go. And let me know that you're submitting it for the stream. 2, you can email it to me. If you want to email it to me, let me know, and I'll put my email in the chat so you can send it that way. Or 3, you can create a character that does not that you haven't created yet. We can do it live in stream and create a character that way. This story is like a fever dream, but not in a bad way. That's good. It's good that it's not in a bad way. What happens to the losing teams? You should have, I don't know, I think you were here last stream, but who was it that was in stream last stream? There was this one person who had just the determination to turn this into a horror, and I was here for it. Like, I enjoyed all the headcanon of us, like, dropping them in the ocean, or like doing all kinds of crazy stuff, like making it like truly Hunger Games style situation where they were literally eliminated when they were removed from the competition. Into the Dungeon seems a little bit more on brand with what we've created so far. I was thinking they just weren't allowed to compete anymore, but we can up the stakes. We can certainly make the competition a little bit more fierce by creating a more high stakes sort of situation here, if that's something you guys want to do. Let me add that. We'll make it a poll. So let's do this. Oh wait, what did I just make a poll? End poll. Yes, no. It just auto-created a yes-no poll. Okay, so let's actually type in the question. What is the consequence of being eliminated? And then we'll give you 2 options. 1, can no longer compete in the Royal Bake Off. For the prize. Royal Bake Off was too many words apparently. Or we can throw them in the dungeon. And there we go. Hello, Roses Are Purple. How are you? Hello, good morning. You came just in time to influence another aspect of this story. Feed their souls to Jimbo. Who's Jimbo? Polka latte, Hunger Games style. Yeah, roses are purple, polka latte. I feel like I'm side-eyeing you right now. You can't tell because my video is not on screen. But I feel like it was one of you two that kept throwing the horror elements into the story last time. Being that's my idea. But who is Jimbo? I added a lot. Yeah, polka latte. Maybe the true stakes are that you only have a chance to compete once per lifetime. So you play, you can never play again, meaning you want to get your best shot. I think that's a good one, Austin. If you want to go with what Austin said, click vote for the first option in the poll. The can no longer compete for the prize, but we'll just assume that means a lifetime ban. So I should have put it that way. I should have wrote a lifetime ban from competing. I am good waiting for this S-comic vid. I have to leave earlier that stream because I went shopping. Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw in her Discord that she's premiering something at 9 o'clock. So in 20 minutes, if you guys want to pop over to S-Comic Maker for a few minutes, she's got a video queued up. She's premiering. So I can't do that because I'm in stream. And I think it would be bad sportsmanship or whatever, like to stream somebody else's content in my stream and take views away from them, even though it's a comic banger and she's like, you know, way bigger a channel than mine. But at the same time, I just want to do the right thing. And so I will unfortunately have to watch it after the fact, after the premiere, on my own time. But you guys can definitely jump over, check out her premiere video, and then I implore you to come back so that we can continue this stream, because obviously I'll still be here. But yeah, you guys, you've got 19 minutes before her premiere, so just keep an eye on the clock if that's something that you're interested in seeing. Jimbo sounds like the royal family's big family member who feeds on souls. That's why they took them aside. I feel like this version of the royal family that we're getting in chat today is like so much more Addams Family-like than what we had before. It's in 18 minutes. I got 2 devices open. Smart. There you go. Very, very smart. So I'm gonna, add myself back to stream, and also by using this window, we get a larger chat as well. Which I might not even need this time because I started so quickly, right? Like so fast when stream began. I don't think I have to like trim the beginning, which I normally do on my streams. Just so that they're rewatchable, so you're not waiting around for 2 minutes if you're watching it when it's not live. But when you trim a video, I don't know if you know this, but on YouTube, when you trim a live stream, you lose the live chat replay. So I've always embedded the chat in my live streams so that we don't lose that. But you never know, we might not need it this time. But either way, it's still there. I digress. Brian, excuse me if this question is weird for you, but are you a furry? Asking for no certain reason. I am not. I try to be a little bit more well-rounded in the kind of characters I draw. So like I try to draw animal characters. I try to draw all kinds of characters. I mean, this guy's a muffin. So I try to be very, very diverse and inclusive in my art style. Yeah, roses are purple. Fun fact. See, learn something new every day. Awesome. And animal characters exist in pop culture in general. Yeah, they've always existed. They always will. I don't know. I don't see a reason to really get weird about it. I know some people do, but I think being open-minded, diverse, and all of that is just part of growing. And so hoping that I am being open-minded, diverse, and growing all the time, and hopefully not losing that broadness. I want to continue broadening my horizons. Oh no, another song with dialogue. Gonna have to skip it. There we go. All right, thanks. Especially with the sort of fairy tale theme going on. Yeah, and we do have plenty of animals in here. We have, let's go here. We've got like the crow guy. He's kind of anthropomorphic. We have Lily Bee, who's more of a feral character. She's not so much anthropomorphic. She's like straight up like a bunny. Not that humanoid in characteristics, except maybe the expressions. We have the cat, who's also a feral character. He's like actually a cat, nothing humanoid about him. He has a square face just because when we were creating characters, way back in the earlier part of the book where they do this little exercise for creating characters, you'd use like you can kind of see it here, Shmigal, how there's like this triangle on there. It's printed into the book. I can't erase it. Because there were like shapes here. We built characters based on the shapes on the page. And so for the cat, his shape was this long, like not octagon, like rectangle shape. So he ended up with a very rectangular head. And so we just sort of carried that through. And that's why his character, you know, FYI, that's why his character has a square head. This is our square head kitty because of just the exercise in the book that we started with. That's just kind of how it developed. Does Dave count as a furry? So he is a plant-based character, and here we have, so I think I would consider it sort of like more of like a Brave Little Toaster style character because it's an inanimate object, just like this muffin guy up here, inanimate object. I don't think that he would count as a furry just because he's not based on an animal. So like I think you have to actually be, I don't know, like a fish or a I don't know, like a reptile or a mammal or a amphibian or something that kind of like, I know plants are alive, but you know what I mean, like they're animate objects versus inanimate objects. So I think plants are more along the lines of like an inanimate object. So that's my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm not referencing any kind of like hard and fast rules. I'm not talking about, I haven't like consulted any experts or anything. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, this is a really great book. Let me like flip back. This book, $10 at Barnes & Noble. So seriously, if you're interested in making comics, it's a great book. It's got amazing like reference material at the front, like all this stuff to try to like help. And you see me do this a lot. Like I'll draw a little stick figure, I'll create a silhouette on top of it. Next thing you know, we've got a character. Boom. So a lot of this stuff is really same thing. I literally draw my characters this way. So much information in here that really helps out. And then you've got like exercises you can do, like we did, where you draw on top of here. This book is really full of lots of valuable information. And then, like seriously, so much empty paneling. There's so much of it. Like such a huge chunk of this book is just, I think it starts like here. It's just that much of it is blank for you to like make your own stories. So great book, amazing purchase for $10. So if that's something you think you would like and you would enjoy doing, you can get it at Amazon. You can also get it, you can get it at Barnes & Noble, which is where I got it, at Barnes & Noble. You can also get it at Amazon. I think I put the links to both locations in the comments. And if I didn't, or not in the comments, in the description. In fact, I will check right now. Is this in the description? Yeah, it's in the description. So to get your own copy of Create Comics, the sketchbook, there are the links to Barnes & Noble and Amazon in the description. So definitely, if that's something you're interested in, that's where you can find it, or you could literally just walk into Barnes & Noble and pick it up, because it's been there most of the trips that I've made. I've seen the book there, so they tend to be in stock, at least in where I live. I think my brother has that book. He got it for his birthday 2 years ago. I don't know what he did with it though. Yeah, maybe if he didn't use it, roses are purple, maybe you can ask him if you could use it. Since it was 2 years ago, if he's not used it by now, maybe he wouldn't mind if you did. Might be worth asking. You could always just say no, and no harm comes from that. Austin, oh dang, I'll have to try that, or maybe a digital version that I could import randomized panels and appropriate as a practice. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Sorry about that. What are you sorry about? Yeah, Austin, don't be sorry. You're fine. You're fine. It's a fine question. In fact, so when I was like 17, one of the first art communities that I discovered was a furry art community. And I don't want to like identify them specifically because honestly, I would be petrified if anybody ever found my original character that I created for that group. But they were really cool people, super chill, great artists. They made really cool art. They made really cool comics. It was really nice to be a part of a group that like liked art that much and were geeking out that hard about like OCs and stuff like that. So I really found that they were good company. And you know, through that, I think I discovered DeviantArt. And became a part of other communities, you know? Like, it was like my gateway into art, like text-based, like play-by-post RPGs and like creating characters for like the steampunk AO. So like, oh, you can't see it. Behind me is, actually it'll be easier if I grab the book. One second. I almost knocked over my desk. Okay, this right here is a book. It's a very big book that I made with a bunch of my friends, like you guys. Like, I made a community of artists, right? Like you right now, right here. And we started a group called Loden, like London, but without the N, so it's just Loden. And it was a steampunk-based RPG that it was text-based, right? So you created a character. We had stat sheets. You filled out stats, kind of like D&D. And like a lot of tabletop games, we like created characters. They had skills. There was a skill tree where you could advance them to make them more powerful through participating in like group events. So we would have like, but it was mostly writing. You would write your character. You'd write a paragraph or a few sentences, and then somebody else would write one, and so you would co-create a story. So hang on, let me just pause the music for a second, and like I can literally just open this up and give you an example. So literally the very first one, the Festival of Loden's very first RPG ever. I wonder if, I don't know, like should I get out the riser? Let me go. Okay, I know we're deviating here. We're deviating away from the comic that we're creating now, but I just want to show you guys this. I think it's really cool. And it's like, I mean, it lasted for, I don't know, let me look back here at the dates. So it started in October of 2011. And it went strong until about 2019 maybe. So you're talking 8 years of active participation in the art community, creating this content, this world, these characters, all of this. This isn't made from TV. This isn't made from like a storybook, like, oh, we all love Harry Potter and then we created our own characters or whatever. It's not made from anything but the community that like all liked the same thing and all wanted to make stuff, and they decided to get together and make stuff. And the thing about text-based, like play-by-post RPs, and I think they're dying out, which is so sad, but the beautiful, wonderful, amazing thing about them is it doesn't matter your time zone. It doesn't matter when you have free time. You don't have to have free time at the same time. With these kind of games, with these kind of collaborations and storytelling, you participate when you're free. And because it's like on a forum and it's all like, it's called play by post because you make a post, like you write your part, your response to a scenario or a situation, what your character is doing or seeing or reacting to. And then the next person writes one, and then another person, and then you come back and you write again. And so like you take turns telling the story through your character's perspective. And together, like 20 people wrote this story. They all created a character, and then they all just sort of like that way, like when they had free time, they would pop in and they would add something to the story based on their characters. You know, and we drew pictures. Obviously, there's like a lot of art too, because we're also an art community. And so all of this, like you see the bold text in front of each like paragraph, that's each person's handle, their not their avatar, their like username or whatever. Yeah. Binks says he's done this before. So that's just identifying each one of these starts. So this one says Ophelia. Ophelia wrote this much, and then Little Imp Rin wrote this much, and then Jublier came in and he wrote that much. And so yeah, it's just this back and forth. It's kind of like past the potato or whatever it's called. And before you know it, we had, I'm going to tell you this, but then I'm going to like say caveat. So there's 480 pages to this book. The last bit of text is on page 479. And this hot potato, thank you, Roses, our purple, it's hot potato, thank you. This book, this thick book that you're seeing, is only about maybe the first 2 years worth of gameplay out of like 8 solid years. This is only like the first 2 years of it. I didn't even get that far into, because I put it together, I put the book together by collecting all of our stories. I didn't even get that far into the archive of what we had. This is only, the publisher would only let me print a maximum of 480 pages. That's why this book's 480 pages. If I could have gone bigger, there would have been a lot more. Yeah, and then this cover art was by Fetch, Francisco Echard. He's based in South America, I think. I think he's in Argentina. It's been a long time, so I don't know for sure. I mean, he drew this in 2014. It's right here. But yeah, this is this is just one example of one of the groups that I joined on DeviantArt back when I was, you know, really starting to get into art. And without them, I probably would not be a YouTube artist right now, because if it wasn't for these groups, and I would draw like, I wasn't ever a really big fan artist. I still to this day do not do a lot of fan art, but what I did do a lot of was drawing pictures of original characters, and I like storytelling art. So I would draw scenes or characters from our stories that we would tell in these games. And that's how I developed as an artist. That's exactly why I am here today. So being said, I've done that kind of thing with a Pokemon group before, actually. Austin Bladen, I don't think it's dying out, just changing format, less forums and more Discord. Yeah, Austin, you're probably right. You're probably right about that one. It was Dungeons and Dragons, so it was kind of gamified and not just RP though. Yeah. So ours was, I got into Dungeons and Dragons years later, like 10 years after I'd already been doing this, the play-by-post. And the Dungeons and Dragons is way more structured, way less storytelling, and I think a lot of it's because you're narrating live, like you're not writing it down, you can't like backspace or think about it and come back to it, like you're actually in the middle of a game, so it's more real time versus, like I said before, play-by-post is like, show up when you have time, even if nobody else is around. So its structure's a little different because of like that, because of the time. I'm so sorry. I'm like still fidgeting with my, there we go, my audio. Okay, yeah, so deep dived into that. I apologize for the, what do you call it? Like the tangents, I guess? It was still play-by-post, but we did it in the framework of D&D. Okay, yeah. I did join one group like that, but I sadly ran out of time to play it, and I had to drop out. I had to give my seat to somebody else, because it was like actually very competitive to get in. And if you were in art fight and you looked through my gallery of characters, I have this one D&D character called Gam Gam. In fact, I can show it to you. We're just gonna keep going down this like rabbit hole. Let's do art fight and go to characters. And if we scroll down here, this character here, Gam Gam, is a ranger. This was my character. So I had, this person drew it so much better than I could. This is my original drawing. So you can kind of see like my D&D stats here. They're not filled out in this copy, but instead of Dungeons and Dragons, this group is called Books and Beholders. And it was based on D&D, but it was, like you said, Bing, it was like a play-by-post style game between a group of DeviantArt artists who also like writing, and that's kind of where I found a lot of these groups. If you want a combination of art and writing, you want to do a lot of storytelling, but you also want to do it with other people. You don't want to do it by yourself. DeviantArt was a great place to find that. Like, it probably still is. I know that the website's pretty dead, but yeah, I used to, like a lot of these characters came from those. This guy is from one that I played for 3 or 4 years, maybe. And here's like one of the stories that we got out of it, you know? And this is my character in the poster on the wall behind me that you can't see, but you will see in that like office reveal video that we're gonna do. I drew a giant poster, and he's just up in the top corner, but I drew like a poster for our group. And yeah, have a good stream and a better day. All right, bye, Brian. Oh Lord, I'm so sorry I have to leave. My auntie is calling. That's fine. Have a good one, and we'll see you again later. Yes, down the rabbit hole. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go down. I'm glad you guys are on board with this deviation. Austin says, I have done DMing for a D&D server, so I had to run one where it's full of gamified and combat-centric. I've also done fully RP-based with no combat and everything in between. Be right back. The vid is starting soon, and it's final countdown. Okay, go for it. Enjoy the premiere and S Comic Maker. If you guys wanted to check that out, now's the time. I think I might end this poll up here because I kind of forgot I had a poll running. But I'll come back to that in a moment. Actually, here we go. End the poll. Wow, you guys, you want to throw them in the dungeon? So severe. Oh my goodness, this just took a really dark turn. I guess we're throwing, I know, we are throwing them in the dungeon. I mean, that's well deserved, I would say, for that first group, because they did do sabotage. But what happens in round 2 when we throw an innocent party into the dungeon? How will we feel about it then? Yeah, I mean, so we're a couple others here. I'm gonna just page through a few other characters that were for RP groups because we have time while some people are watching the premiere video. This guy, Kierden, was also for one of them. Here you can kind of see his character sheet on the template. So a lot of these groups come with their own templates, right? And you put your character on it, so there's all this uniformity between all the character reference sheets. Plot twist, it's an RPG dungeon with sick loot. Dungeon party, yeah. They might enjoy it down there if it's more like that, if it's a plot twist dungeon. They get down there and like, wow, this is so much better than competing to be like the royal fan or whatever. And then, yeah, so this one is also, I mean, so many of them were for these RP groups, because honestly, I love characters that are designed for stories. I don't really make too many. They're just for aesthetics. Like, they're usually based on some kind of something story related. They have a purpose, or at least they have their own struggles, right? Like we talked earlier about making your character struggle. This one's been reincarnated into like a lot of RP groups. The one that lasted the longest was this Western. It was like 1980 or 1881 American Western RP group, where this was kind of her look, and she had a lot of like rivalry with this dude, and so they had their own little stints that like lasted for a little while. And, oh gosh, who else? She was one, the gargoyle was one. This top row, I will say, is all for my webtoon. So they're not RP characters, they're webtoon characters. Oh yeah, we've just been having a big party down here. Why did I read that like that? Oh yeah. Kind of like the Big Brother show where you think they get eliminated and go home, but turns out they have their own little bachelor pad. I didn't know they did that. I haven't actually watched Big Brother, but now I know. Spoilers. I'm just kidding. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, Morticia has been in a couple RPs. A lot of times if I'd create a character for a group that, like, died in the water, like, because sometimes these RP groups, they'll start, but they won't, like, get traction, and so they don't really take off, and then you end up with a character who doesn't belong anywhere. So I'll usually take that character and tweak them for another group. And that's kind of what I did with her again and again and again and again. So she got rehomed a lot, but it's almost like she was cursed because every place I sent her, like, didn't launch. Like, it failed. So her story has yet to actually live, like, take off. That's obviously Pokemon Go. And so, yeah, like, but most of these, like I said, are from RP groups. This one was both a comic character that I started while I was in the Navy, and later when I got out, I used her again. She was originally part of a comic, this comic, Zombie Chiefs, that I made way back a long time ago, so long ago. And then there was like this zombie survival group that was doing like play by post, and so I was like, I have a character for that, and I pulled her out of my comic and I used her for that group, for that RP group, and that one lasted a couple years too. I didn't stay active in it all the way till the end, but like it outlived my gameplay in it. But a lot of my groups, I usually stay in them until they fizzle. But yeah, my RP. So where's my? Here she is, my steampunk character. So this is Caitlin. She's here from like the cover art of that book. And I just realized it's not zombie chief. No, it's not zombie chefs. No, it's chiefs, like chiefs in the Navy. Yeah, this is my character, obviously having a lot of different, like, so anyway, she was from that book that I showed you, and this group technically still exists to this day, but it's not really active anymore. Like maybe once a year somebody goes in and like adds a little something to a story they were working on, but like I could literally go Loden City, not if I spell it wrong, Loden City of Gears, there we go. Literally can go there right now and show you. So this is the website for it. And we probably haven't seen activity here. Let's see. Last update by Elaine Brandcroft was May 16 of 2022. So like technically speaking, this is still going this year. Like this group that started in 2011 is now, what is it, 2011 to 22? What is that? That's 11 years later. 11 years later. It's still going. So, and like we still have like, there's a little chat down here. I'm gonna say something. Caitlin. Oh, why do I have caps lock on? There we go. And yeah, so I'm not logged in, so I don't have like a me and then guest call. We usually know who that is just by that. Yeah, so anyway, this is the group. I'll even drop, if you want to check it out for research purposes or whatever, I'll drop it in the chat. You guys can check it out. One of these groups that lived 11 years and still going. It's not dead yet. It's like on its deathbed, but it's not dead yet. Yeah, and so the book came from that group. And I guess we'll come back over here now to this book. And I could talk all day about, oh, Oh, what's this? It's dirty. No, no dirt. I could talk all day about like those kind of groups, and like honestly we're kind of doing that in our own way now with this book right here is sort of like those, because it's a group of people coming together, submitting characters and co-authoring a story. So it belongs to all of us, right? Like it's not my story, it's not your story, it's our story, and they're our characters. So it's a lot like those play-by-post RPGs, the main difference being that we've kind of switched the whole time thing. Instead of it being like you can pop in anytime, this is at a specific time. And it's also story by art versus story by text. So two major differences, but similar in all the other ways. At the same time, you're doing all of the work. Yeah, I mean, there is kind of that, yeah. So you guys are a little bit more passive in this context for this book, but I did want to start another one of those like other kind of groups where people are way more like involved, and I created a video for it and everything. Let me see if I can go to it and maybe even pull it up. Please don't talk. My video always talks when I go to my own page, and I don't like it when it does that. Don't talk, please. Oh, good, it won't, because it's currently showing that I'm streaming. All right, so let's jump back over to display capture for a second and scroll through here, because in here we do have a video for play-by-post, if that's something that interests you. And you're enjoying these streams but want to get more involved. Where is it? It's the one that has, here we go, best character creation games, this one. So this is the video that talks all about these. And I can show this to you guys here. And I might even add, I guess I should say what that is. Play-by-post video with all the deets. What I could do is, oh, that's a scary freeze frame. No, I don't like that. We're gonna switch screens. I might even add like this link to the description of this stream later so that people can navigate to it, since we talked about it so much during the stream. And I need a drink from my drink. Real quick, I'm gonna click back over here, bring this back up on screen, and now you guys can see the book really well. I feel like I haven't made much progress here, but it's been really fun hanging out, even if we haven't done too much with the actual comic book. Sometimes I think this is why our some pages take like multiple streams versus like, oh, we finished that page in stream number whatever. Like sometimes we just get distracted, and it's okay. It's okay to just get a little distracted. So there's this guy, and then how did I do? I know the queen had like the tufts on the side, and then the princeling had like sharper tufts. She's got like that. I like haven't even figured out yet whether or not these heads are in a good spot for bodies, and I'm already like adding to it. So I'm really hoping that these poses come together, because I don't want to move the heads. Super just kind of winging it here with these guys. And then his beak looks a little sideways, so let's straighten that up a little bit. We'll bring hers in like this. And princelings like this. The good news is they kind of have like these capes, so I almost feel like I can just make these ambiguous blob shapes and we'll get away with it. Because like, we flip back here to our one and only reference. Oh no, I say that, and of course the prince doesn't have one. Only the queen's got like a shawl and king's got like a cape. Dang it. Should I like fudge it? Should I give him one anyway? What do you think? Like the one guy that gets one is this guy back here, Mr. I'm the king and I get to stand real tall and proud down here. So he's got like this shape going on. Shortcuts are good. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to just take a quick shortcut. Give this little prince like maybe we'll even put like a hood on it. Maybe the hood was a bad idea. I don't know, trying some things out. We're testing the waters here. So then our queen is wearing like this shawl shape thing. And we can put her like arms forward like this. And I'm gonna flip back one more time. So she's got kind of like this A-line skirt that just sort of pops out like this. I think that's called A-line. And we can just like cross her arms in front of her a little bit. It looks a little funny at this angle. Maybe I shouldn't do that. This is the way you should draw your poses first, guys. You should figure out your pose before you start detailing your characters. Don't be like this. Don't do what I'm doing right now. This is a bad example. Bad technique all around. Just bad. But we'll make it work. It's fine. It'll be all right. And then, let's see. We'll just make the king's pants sort of do like this. We can kind of stick to this very arms on hips thing that we've been doing basically for every shot of this guy. Because consistency, I don't know why I'm doing it, but like, honestly, it's been working. So we've seen him 3 times, technically. 1, arms folded behind the back. 2, arms folded behind the back. 3, maybe it's just his favorite pose. It's his comfort pose. It's his default, his, what do you call it? I'm gonna like, attention. I don't know. Been on the military too long to remember those things. Anyway, hello, Pilfer Puff. Welcome to the stream. Looks good. Thank you so much, Pilfer. We are, wow, I don't know what is up with me. It's probably the caffeine. I've been drinking energy drinks, so I'm singing. Yeah, we're finishing up this page. Basically, we decided to take what we had here, which was a full body, small sketch back in the background of this panel, make it bigger, and then give these floating heads some bodies. And even though we've been streaming for like an hour, we haven't gotten much further than that because I got really, really distracted talking about play-by-post RPGs. But it was a really good discussion. And then also, I know Amanda is having her premiere right now, so we're stalling while other people are watching the premiere video and waiting for them to come back. It is a very regal pose, straightens the back. Yeah, I mean, I'll go with that. I think that makes sense. Yeah, it totally makes sense. It's part of his character. It fits. I like it. We're stealing it. We're using it. It's now canon. I drink a lot of the Triple Shot Black Rifle coffee cans. I'm all zapped up with caffeine too. Yep. So let me show you what I'm drinking. I have this. It's sugar-free Rockstar. I thought, hey, at least if it's sugar-free, right? Like, it can't be that harmful, right? Maybe something like that. Mm-mm. No monster today. I was actually looking for the monsters when I went shopping for these. I wanted to buy like a little case, like the 4-pack, so that I'd have them to last me through the weekend. But unfortunately, they didn't have the sugar-free monster, so sugar-free, yeah, quotations, Pilber, thank you. So I ended up buying the Rockstar because that's what they had on the shelves. So here we are. That's our drink of choice today. I have a cat behind me right now that is like kicking me like out of my chair. He's like, he got behind my back and then he just starts stretching out. This little guy. You can't see. I wish there was a way. Let me show you this fool back here. This is the orange one sleeping behind me. Perry wanted 10 monsters and they only had 9. No. Yeah, monsters are good too. It is, sadly, it is, unfortunately. But they do, I think the white sugar-free monsters taste better than most energy drinks. So that's why. Cat reveal. I have 3. Hopefully you guys have seen a few of them before. Where's this guy? Should I wake him up? I feel like bad about it. Hey, buddy. My little love. Here we go. Let's say hi. Let's say hi. You want to say hi? That's a microphone, baby. Say something. Nothing? Oh, maybe I could get him in the camera. Here you go. This is my guy. I was sad. I have tried every flavor and none of them have turned me into a monster yet. False advertising. Yeah. Austin, you should get your money back. That's unfortunate that it just did not work out for you. I used to drink 2 to 3 monsters a day in college. Pretty sure I cut 10 years off my life. 2 to 3 a day? Pilfer. No. No. Yeah, you probably did cut a couple years off your life. That's so bad for you. Check in your closet or under your bed. That's where all the monsters hide. That's where these guys like to hide. Especially during the day, because at night we shut our doors so that they can't, like, keep us awake at night, because they'll come into our room and get the zoomies, and you know how cats are. So they get shut out during the night, so then they feel like they treat the bedroom like it's like the sacred place. So when the door opens during the day, not this guy, but the other 2 cats zoom in there, and they'll spend like the whole day just sleeping on the bed because they can. But this guy's more, he's like, I don't know, he's more curious, he's more adventurous, he's always out and about, exploring, trying to find new things, staring out the window, being rude to the neighbors, like, hissing at them when they walk by the window. But he seems all calm and quiet now. It's because he's sleepy. I just woke him up so I could put him on camera. See, baby, here you go. Yeah. Every time I drink a monster, it's tasted like liquid hype and impending death. I tried to submit a claim, but it's hard with these claws. Uh-oh, be right back. Oh no, Austin, he's getting his wish. What are their names? He is a good boy. He's such a good boy. This is Shrimp, because he was the runt of the litter and also because he's orange. So, that's why the name. Hey, bye-bye. Yeah, I'm talking about you. And then my black kitty's name is Houdini. And he got his name because he's a little escape artist. I brought him home as a kitten. I'm originally from Ohio, and I went back to Ohio one winter to photograph a friend's wedding because I was doing photography at the time. And Shrimp, he is just a prawn to your games. Yes, the puns. Keep them coming. I love puns. And yeah. So I drove to Ohio from Washington, D.C. And I did the wedding, and the wedding was on the groom's mother's farm, and she had all these barn kittens. They just had a litter, and she was saying how, like, she was so worried because every winter when they get these litters so close to, like, winter, when it gets, like, cold and snowy, they lose a lot of kittens. A lot of them die. And I was like, no, you can't say that. So I ended up taking 2 of them home. Here's one. Shrimp, he came from that barn cat litter. And the other one was my black kitty Houdini. And Houdini, the whole drive back to DC from Ohio, every time I would stop to like get gas or use the restroom or get food, I would come back to the car and he would be out of his crate, just like sitting in like the passenger seat, just like nosing around and exploring and being like, man. So I was like, buddy, how'd you get out? I put him back. At one point I even put Shrimp's crate on top of Houdini's crate, thinking maybe that would hold him in. To this day, I have no idea how he kept getting out, but that's how he got his name. Little escape artist. So my black cat's name is Houdini. And last but not least, my oldest boy, he was rescued from a kill shelter. His name is Trooper. He came with that name from the shelter, and he's about a year older than these two. And he is a love bug. He doesn't know what it means to be a cat because he just loves people. He loves cuddling. He loves attention. He hates the other cats, but he's learned to get along with them most of the time. But he loves people. He's super, super sweet. So those are my three. Hello. Mommy needs her hands to draw. I'm so sorry. I gotta put you down. Say goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Here you go, Bob. There we go. Sometimes I do get cat paralysis by these guys wanting to be lap kitties, and so then I end up not being able to do anything because you don't disturb a cat when they're sleeping on your lap. It's just one of the rules. It's like written into our DNA. If a cat sleeps on you, you just have to wait until he's done. That's how that works. Yeah. So, should I be a little bit corny? Like, should I be cheesy and be like, if you like cats, leave the like on the video. Like this stream for more cats, and we'll bring more cats into the stream. Alright, so where were we? We were making... Why does his face look like that? That's not how his face should look. So it should be, first of all, he should still have like a round head. And then his beak can come out kind of like that. That's fine. But like, we should still be seeing the round part of his face. There we go. Ah, tangents. No tangents. We're gonna move the cape. The cape is creating a tangent and I won't have it. There we go. Is that better? That's better, right? Austin's a natural comedian. I am catching on to that. I'm definitely seeing it. I like the stream for all the cool content. Thank you, Fur. I appreciate it. You should have seen my rant earlier about like royalty-free music because I have found a new solution. This one I believe will not fail me because the last stream it did get copyright claimed despite, once again, being lied to that I was using copyright-free music. Rant review. I know, right? Like I mean, I already deleted the playlist because I was like, well, this one doesn't work, and I deleted it. But I should have left a comment warning other streamers, like, don't use this playlist, even though the name of the video is copyright-free music. The music is, in fact, not copyright-free. Shrimp at the sleepy night, brave and willing to stand up for what's right. That is, if you can wake him. Austin, you should be a poet. You should write fan fiction for my cats. You do that, I'll draw it. You write me some cat fan fiction, I will illustrate it. But you gotta put it in my Discord so I can find it. I actually think the poses worked out for these three, the royal family here. They didn't have to move the heads after all, which is goals, because that's kind of like what I was worried about. So I think that works. Yes! If nothing else, we will finish this page. Let me get out. We'll do this one. We'll do this pen. Now let's ink this sucker. I ran into that problem too. Copyright not free. That's why I curate my own playlist. It's smart. I was trying to do that with So when I say I deleted the playlist that I created of videos that were called copyright-free music. And now I'm just using literally the YouTube Studio. If you go into YouTube Studio and then you go down to their audio library, I'm literally using the audio library with the search function set to attribution not required. Like, that is the music we're listening to right now, which I don't even think you can hear because the song that's currently playing is really quiet. But like, maybe if I like, how about I just go back to the top? We'll start over. And that's smart. Yeah. I had to, because it's like, I can't anymore. I can't with this. With these lies. These people are deceiving me. There we go. I turned the music up a little bit. Maybe you guys can hear it now. I don't even know if you can hear it, but I'm trying. Maybe you can hear it. Yeah. So that's my new solution. I was thinking about like just buying one of those services, you know, like the Stream Beats or something. But honestly, I just didn't do it before this stream, so this is my new solution, and I like this solution. I think this works, so I'm pretty sold on this method. And if it comes back with a copyright claim, I'm gonna like lose my mind because like, it's YouTube, right? This is your library. You told me this music was not copyright, or it was like attribution not required, copyright-free music, because that's what the audio library is. If this gets a copyright claim, I'm just gonna like be so confused because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I did end up adding a hoodie, you guys, to this guy's cape after all. The prince gets a hood because he is a savvy prince. I don't know what that has to do with being savvy, but he got one. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate my methods. Yay! Alright. For Bing's character, who is tentatively named Sebastian, because we started that discussion but never finished it. Unless Bing did respond, in which case I would have to go back through comments and find out, which I can do after the stream is over. But for right now, we're gonna line art this so we can get into the next page. Them's goals. I don't think I'll color on stream just because it takes way too long. Like, it really does. Coloring, surprisingly, takes so much longer. It's like the longest step. I don't know why. Although I have been watching, I will say I'm hoping to upgrade my coloring capabilities with color pencils, because I have been watching so many YouTube videos by like traditional artists like Sarah Temps, I think her name is, Tammy Tirades or Tim, something like that. ADC Art Attack, all of them, to see like how can I color better, right? So I've been like learning all kinds of cool tips and tricks about colored pencils and how to blend them and how to like using cotton swabs and like nail polish remover and all that. And I haven't tried it yet, but I'm planning on it, and I'm hoping that it means I'll end up with like such a like quality boost and a jump in my capabilities and like just the general outcome of these pages. So I guess then coloring is wait, hang on, what did I miss? Wait, what did I miss? I went to go heat up some food. We're talking about coloring now. To me, I always fuss over my lines most, but then coloring is faster, but I'm trying to get better at coloring. Yeah, I wish I could say I'm right there with you, Austin, on that one. Hi, welcome back. Roses are purple. But honestly, I don't know, like I can throw down lines pretty quickly now. I don't, especially like in this style, it's very just kind of like simple and cartoony. Oh, you can even see what I'm pointing at. I'm like pointing at these guys. So the lines don't take terribly long. But then coloring, I just feel like there's no way around it. Like coloring is just gonna take the time it takes because you can't fill bucket things in. You have to literally color like every grain of the paper. And it just takes however long it takes. Like, I just feel like I can't find a way around that. It just is. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I don't know, maybe if instead of using colored pencils, I was using paint or something, maybe watercolor would make it faster, because then it would like spread easier or something, or could use a bigger brush. I don't know, there's probably ways to make coloring go faster. I'm just not using the right material or something. Like, I think if I was using paint, maybe the coloring would be quicker, but I also don't know how to paint, so it's something I'm gonna have to learn. But learning is part of the experience, so I'm down for it, just not right at this second, because we're busy, we're doing something, we have a plan. I'm enjoying coloring a lot. I'm glad. I think coloring can be very therapeutic. Honestly, if you're willing, it takes a long time, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it really can be relaxing. Like when I couldn't draw because I was so stressed out, I did a coloring book and I made a video about that. And honestly, it's such like a good reset button. Like, if you have one of those old coloring books, or if you have like a brother or a sister or a niece or a nephew, or like kids of your own who have coloring books, I'm sure they won't mind if you color a page in of their book. They might not even notice, and if they do, I don't know. Maybe ask permission first, I guess. But yeah, coloring books, great for stress relief, and great for resetting when you're too stressed out or tired or burnt out from doing actual, like your I would say your regular art, your regularly scheduled programming or whatever. Like, if for being, for instance, like he's working on his comic, but he can't, man, the burnout is real. Then maybe try coloring book, or print out a coloring page from, or line art, right? Like, for coloring online. There's lots of them. So many. My kids love coloring books. Wilfred, do you have kids? Because if you did, I didn't know that about you. Austin, it's just because I'm a novice still in terms of expertise, even though I've been drawing a while. I do digital now, though. I have moved to digital, I mean, kind of the same time that we were talking earlier, like back in 2011, I sort of discovered art groups on the internet and DeviantArt and the whole shebang. That's also the same time I started drawing digitally, because I was deployed. And no, wait, that was back in, like, I was in school. Wait, was I? I didn't know. I discovered DeviantArt when I was in school, but I started doing digital art when I was deployed. That's my time. That's how that happened. So yeah, in high school I discovered DeviantArt, but then when I left high school and I joined the military, I didn't have a lot of space on a ship for like personal belongings. Like, you couldn't just have like sketch pads and a box of like this, full of colored pencils and whatever else, right? Like, there just wasn't space for much. And so what I did have was an iPad, and so I started drawing digitally on my iPad, and ended up with that comic I kind of showed you earlier, Zombie Chiefs, my very first kind of like project, and it's not great, but it's where I got my start in digital art, was on a deployment with an iPad, because I was limited on space, and it was like a really good resource to have for multi-purposing, because I could read my Kindle on my iPad, and I could maybe browse the internet if I had service or something. I don't know, but either way, it was a thing. What I'm going to try to start doing is just kind of sketch or line whatever I feel like making progress, or whenever I feel like making progress. But when I don't feel like diving super deep into my art, I'll just color it. That's a good method. That's a very good method. Austin, it's easy to bucket fill colors, but I'm trying to branch out from there. Like, for art fight, I experimented with different brushes. It's really smart. Art fight is a great time to experiment. it's a really good time to level up quickly because you're producing a lot of art really fast. Hello, Rosa's Art Purple. You got to go prepare for D&D. So see ya, have fun. That sounds amazing. I would love to play some D&D. I hope you have a lot of fun and you guys have a great adventure. Silver, my kids love coloring books. I'm still confused by their comment. Do you really have kids? I didn't know that. Like, for some reason, I just didn't think you were old enough. But I guess you're full-grown adult, so you're old enough to have kids. Okay, cool. Headcanon accepted. Even though you tend to be sarcastic, so I can never tell when if you're being serious or not, especially in text. Text is hard to get tonality from, you know? All right, let's see. I think I'm supposed to put like a line here that the hood doesn't just like hide out. There's supposed to be, oh no, I'm just making this line thicker and thicker. It's becoming a bigger and bigger mess now. I should just color it in. Maybe I should just color it in. That might fix my problem. I mean, that kind of did, didn't it? That worked actually. Problem solved, right? Like, solution. Problem meets solution. And then our queen here. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Just trying to carefully avoid the tangents here with this trio. So when they like look like they're gonna intersect, I'm trying to work my way away from that. Lesson I learned that I'm obviously not following because I just made all these jagged, bumpy. Don't push the pin up. Don't push the pin up. Like pull down with the pin. Because when you push the pin up, you end up like forcing and it gets all this. It's not a smooth line, is what I'm saying. Like what I just did, it did not come out smooth. And I'm telling you because I regret trying to push the pin instead of dragging the pin and getting that awful result. There we go. And then we'll just bring in her shawl thing. Honestly, I know that this probably isn't the most fun portion, but it's getting really close to done. And I gotta say, I love the way using these pins, these microns, really makes it pop. Like it looks I mean, to me, it looks almost like it was printed this way. Like I had a friend over for lunch the other day, or dinner. We had a friend over. And I was working, this was before the last stream, and I was working on coloring these pages at the dinner table while we were playing an escape room board game. So it was like multitasking, and I was coloring this in, and he like legitimately thought I was coloring a coloring book. He did not realize that like the line art was drawn by me. So like when I see the ink go on the page, like a pencil, obviously, you know you drew it because it's pencil. But once we see the ink on the page, it almost looks like a coloring book. And I thought it was really cool that he couldn't tell that this wasn't a coloring book. I thought that was kind of a little neat little, I don't know, pat on the back, I guess, or something. It just felt very, oh no, I just drew on my arm. Can you see that? Gotta be careful with where I'm sticking this pin. I like how the panel has repeated triangle patterns in it. Triangle beaks, pointy crowns, and then all three of their heads lined up to form a triangle. Pretty neat. Thank you. Yes, triangulation is a really good, I guess, like, is it a technique or a tool? I don't know. But either way, it's good to use when you're doing composition and also shape language in a lot of ways, not just with triangulation, but it's a great place to start. Can really make a piece of art that you're doing more pleasing to the eye. So yeah, triangulation, great tool. Definitely look into it if you don't know what it is, and try to use it if you do, because it will help you out. And I appreciate, by the way, I appreciate you pointing that out, Austin. Super, super thank you for noticing and appreciating that. So I think in a second I'll be able to erase the pencil marks. I just want to give the ink a chance to dry so I don't smudge it. In the top right. Pretty neat. Yeah, this one. Oh, Austin. Pilfer, do you know Austin? Like, are you guys friends? Because you seem to have good banter. I think you guys seem to know each other. Okay, let's see. I guess now we just gotta draw Bing's character, our poor, unfortunate taste tester here. So first of all, I'm gonna like give him a hand. Get it? Give him a hand. Just kidding. Let's not be weird. And I'm pretty sure he had, yeah, he has long sleeves. So we'll just give you boys some cuffs here for sleeves. And then he had a vest, so I'm gonna bring the shoulder out. But not like connected because he's gonna have a little mosquito here. Here we go. The ease with which you draw hands both impresses and scares me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just kind of, although I will, let me point out where I messed one up. Here on this cow, oh, of course, I gotta wait for it to stop shaking now. Once it's done shaking, this cowboy here, I just went in and I started drawing them and not even realizing, oh goodness, if it would just stop shaking. Not even realizing how I did it backwards. Like, so here, let me demonstrate for you. When you put your hands up in fists like this to cheer, right? Boom. I should be seeing the pinkies curled in, right? But what did I draw? I draw thumbs. So the hands look like this, right? Like, they look kind of like this instead of like this, like they should. Oh goodness, did I break it? Did I destroy my phone? There we go, we're back online, good. So yeah, I mean, it's still a challenge. Hands are still challenging. But yeah, I do try to like, I'm trying to be more, I guess just practice, I suppose. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, so I'm just gonna keep drawing, but thank you. I appreciate that you were scared of me. But also impressed. Polka latte crab hands. Yeah, it kind of looks like it, because I just, for some reason I drew the fist with the like little thumb curled out like this instead of, if I had only just paused for a second to think it through, but too late now. Now we have, I don't know, maybe just double jointed me, like rotated his elbows or something so that we could get that view. I need the little thing, your guy's got his little, like, bent arrow. I need the bent arrow, so let's make sure we put that in his hat. He's got curly hair and a tie. So the bent arrow. Let's get that first. There we go. Because that seemed very, oh, I did it again. I pushed the pen up the page instead of dragging it down, and I got a really bumpy line. No! Now I'm gonna make it thicker so I can straighten it out. Here we go. Oh, I almost did it again. You guys see that? Like, I was going for it. I was just going for it. Like, I didn't just talk about that. The good news is, though, here in a second will be prime to erase the pencil marks here. Here we go. This music is a little bit kind of like twinkly magic-y. Can you hear it? Austin, they have flexible hands after falling into a vat of ambidextrose. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. So now they deliver sickly sweet punches that will leave you with a toothache. Their signature move is the jawbreaker. Headcanon accepted. I appreciate it. That character needed a little bit more fleshing out anyway, so that's your dude right there. In fact, would you like to name him Austin? This can be your guy if you want him. He started off as like a generic NPC. Right here. He started off as just a background character, comes from homely origins, but then we introduced a character for this character, the Dino looking one back here, for Space Raptor Infinite, and he needed a team. So I round up all the background characters to flesh out this man's team so he could have a team of 4. And Joey there, Mr. Jawbreaker, was one of them. So by all means, if you would like to claim him, you may have him. Call him Sweetie. Focolate. Oh, no. I gotta give this guy a face before I just start inking out of nowhere. Because he's got curly hair that kind of like does like this. And curly bangs. We'll do like that. This poor soul. This poor soul. What have we done to him? We fed him very salty, what was it? Caramel, salted caramel something. What was their dish? Does anybody remember what this team's breakfast dish was supposed to be? Salted caramel, chocolates. Oh, why am I using that eraser? Like an actual. I'm making my life harder, guys. Harder than it needs to be. Let's try to not do that. Let's try to be efficient. That's the word I was looking for. That long pause just so I could find the word efficiency in my vocabulary. But now we have it. So yeah, let's use the big eraser to be more efficient. And then, oh, tell me that's not, okay, good, it's not pen. So I like streaked a pen mark across Bing's character's arm. Haha, maybe someone can claim him. Austin doesn't want him. He's just gonna remain the background character that was pulled into the foreground. Salted caramel pancakes or something? Yeah, I would think, but like the pancakes were actually, the pancakes were this team down here. Oh, you can't see that. This team. Team Hopsalot. Fungi Hopsalot. Fungi Hopsalot. They did the pancakes. Was it a pie? Salted caramel chocolate pie? Something like that. Because it looks like a pie. Slide this over. Like when we have the lineup of the dishes, it looks like a pie to me. Like right here. So I think salted caramel chocolate pie, I'm pretty sure. Pancakes. This fruitcake thing they were making. And then the salmon and toast. Salmon cream cheese and toast. Alright. We are so close to finishing this page. I just gotta give him a face. He just needs a face. What kind of expression? It's like, you know, like he needs like, he needs an expression that makes you feel bad for him because he's so sick. Gotta figure out what that expression is. I still like the little plant character. Yeah, that's art by Callie's character, Dave, and he's so cute. I feel like I haven't seen Dave in a hot minute. Where was he last? He was last right here. was the last time I saw him. It's kind of blending in a little bit with the background. I wonder if I brought like the Q-tip and the nail polish out and I tried blending this. I wonder if like you have to do it right away? Probably not. I mean, pencils aren't like what, gonna dry? So you could probably still blend this and make it look all neat and pretty, maybe. Hopefully it works. I'll try it later. Right, but then this guy over here, giving his all for the job. There we go. So now we have a bin. Let's get in these glorious curls. The ear. I'll bring these out. Like that. His poor face, this poor guy. And then I guess like his vest can like come like this, and then pant legs down like that. And there he has a body. Now he just needs a face. He just needs a face. We gotta find out what face is this guy making. It's gotta be a very emotive face. Definitely can't just be, can't be a generic neutral face for sure. Not with this posture. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna end up with like little eraser dust all over my computer. Like my desk is just covered in this stuff now. I gotta like get a little vacuum just so we can clean all that up. Okay. Enough stalling. Let's see, what kind of a face can we give him? But like, so let me first check out his features. Okay, cute little nose. So cute little nose. Maybe like one eye really big and traumatized, and then one like really small. It's because it's kind of like face, you know? Oh, that looks like an eyebrow, so I won't do that. And then he needs to be making like a little like a face like that. What do you guys think? Oh, it won't focus on the... Can you see that? Is that fine? What do you guys think? Is that okay? I would eat salmon cream cheese toast every day. Yeah, it just sounds like such a delicious breakfast. Honestly, I could go for some right now. I still do a test page. A test page. What am I test paging? What am I doing a test page for? Love Lily Bee in the green Starbucks apron. It's canon to me. I know, isn't she so cute? Oh, I'm gonna scroll back. There she is, and she's flicking the spoon, looking so darn cute, but also definitely put that spoon in the sink when you're done with it. Don't you dare dip that back in the batter. Yeah, super cute. I love it. Okay, so I would eat the dust of a million ideas, careful or else it might form into its own character, who is sad he didn't get to be on the comic, until he then sneaks into one of the panels, third wall break, fourth wall break. You are full of headcanons. I like you. You are welcome back all the time. It's fine. So the face is fine. I assume that's what it's fine is for. I love the Royal Bird Trio cell. Really good expression, and the simple shapes make it really clear and nice. Thank you. She double dip. She better not double dip, Pilfer. She may not double dip. That is, now we have rules. That is against the rules. I take it back. There are no rules. Now there are rules. No double dipping. She can double dip at home when it's her own pancakes that she's making. She can't double dip when she's making other people's pancakes. Just no. Sorry, I always have ideas for stuff. Don't be sorry, Austin. I love them. I love the ideas. Bring all the ideas. That's what this is for. I want all of the ideas. I know today I'm like being super slow in the book. I'm sorry for that, but the ideas are excellent and I love them. And I just want you to keep them coming. No shame in that. Bring all the ideas. All right, so we have like a, oh no, this poor guy, this poor guy. I mean, really, what did you do to him? This poor guy, oh my gosh. I feel like we need like a little cloud or something up here in the background. Because we've got this like space up here, you know? So maybe some clouds. And then, just a little bit of like sand dunes for the background. There we go, now we have a complete scene. I kind of want to do the same thing here. Bring in some sand dunes. Just to put a background back here. And maybe you can do some like birds flying. There we are. Now we have scenes. Just a few little background elements. That's all it takes. And then we've got ourselves a scene. I do kind of want to like, just sort of frame this part in a little bit. I know he's like shouting through the megaphones. We don't have it inside, like a text bubble, like speech bubble. There we go, speech bubble. We can at least add these little lines for emphasis there. Oh, and this guy who desperately needs his reference art. Because I'm sure I'm missing tons of details about him. Space Raptor Infinite, where you be? Need your references, mate. So let me go full screen. Here we go. There we are. So let me cap this pen before I mark on myself again, or on the book where I don't want it. And just do a little erasing on Bing. I'm just gonna start calling him Sebastian, okay? We're just gonna roll with that until you say otherwise. And I want a little outside the line here, so I'm gonna come in here with the gel pen and just hope the gel pen will write, so I can. There we go. We've completed the page from last stream. It only took this entire stream because I was so easily distracted a lot. Oh, and there's still some line art here from the pencil. Little pencil marks kind of hanging out here. But honestly, I think it's a good page. I think it was worth a while. So now what I think we kind of need to do, also making coffee ice cream. Pilfer, that is the best flavor of ice cream that there is. Coffee flavored for the win, always, absolutely. What are we talking about? Cooties, who's got cooties? What did I miss? Oh, because she's double dipping. Yes, just a spite, she triple dipped. Pilfer. And cooties for everyone, Poco Latte. Austin, so it's a literal sand castle. Yes, 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 yes. We have ourselves, how many pages do I gotta back up? How many pages? Oh, there we go. She bangs. There we are, Sandcastle Security. That's these guys, the little sussy crabs. And then, yeah, sandcastles. And our royal family, by the way, we're gonna be seagulls, but I don't know if you noticed, instead of being white birds up here, they're yellow. They're little ducklings because My brother really wanted to, Cody, who was in chat before, you might notice, one page down, 293 to go, right? Polka, you know what I'm talking about. You know how it goes. Yeah, my brother Cody, who was in chat, he comes in sometimes, like, you see him sometimes, sometimes you don't. But he wanted to be included in the book, and growing up as kids, he had his own little comic with ducks. And so, as an homage to him and to his comic, I've made the royal family ducks. So those are his characters. Keep staring at Austin's PFP. Border collies are so pretty. Yeah, the puppies are so cute. All doggos are puppies. Just like all cats are kittens. They're babies forever, always will be. They're just little kittens and little puppers. Yeah, very cute PFP. I concur. I agree. Oh, here we go again. We're back into the music with lyrics. I actually really like this artist, Nefex, that creates a lot of really good music in the audio library for YouTube. And I did use it I used 2 of their songs in my Encanto art style swap with Arcane video. But it's just hard to talk over when there's like lyrics in the music, so I switch it. I skipped it for the stream. Might get a pair of pet rats. That sounds cool. I think they're cute. I mean, obviously, like domesticated ones, the cute ones that are clean and trustworthy and safe, right? I'm gonna come back on stream because I'm not currently drawing anything, but I will stick this up here like this so you can see what we drew. This is, I think, a beautiful page. I'm very much happy with this. This page makes me very happy. Yeah, so I think I kind of did forget though, and I always kind of add this stuff later. You guys don't see this, but when I'm coloring, I'm trying to figure out like, oh, what color should the background be? And then I realized like, I didn't like make like a sky or a ground line or something. So I just kind of come in and make a little squiggly line, and that's like, this is the sand and that's the sky. And that's how that works. That's how we decide what colors to put here. So yeah, that's my secret, my tip for today, I guess. Just draw a horizon line. It doesn't have to be a straight line. Just gotta be a line to divide the sky from the ground. And that's the extra small pen circles here. I actually think I'm gonna stop here today. I know I promised in the title that we were gonna do contest round 2, but I will say we did add some very valuable information this time because you guys decided that the penalty for being eliminated from this challenge is that you go to the dungeon. You voted on that. Remember that later, because it feels good sending the Bakery Bandits to the dungeon, but how are you going to feel later in round 2 when we eliminate a team that didn't do anything wrong? So it's been decided. You guys voted. I will also add, with a very heavy majority, to throw them in the dungeon. So that is where they're going. And we'll have to incorporate that some way in another page to make it canon in the book. But for right now, I think that this is a good stopping point. I guess this was just a 2-stream page instead of being a 1-stream page. But it is a beautiful page, and I appreciate all of your guys' help making this happen. Find them in the sewers. They're free. Pilfer, no. Don't do that. Or at least go get your rabies shot. Is that a thing? Can you get a rabies shot? Go do that before you go looking for rats in the sewer, please, for everybody's sake. Dungeon, then the guillotine. Polka Latte, it's you! You're the one that keeps turning this story into a horror. You're the one. Now I know. I'll remember that. No, I appreciate you. I do. I think that is really great that you're pushing us in different directions, and we're getting to experience a lot of fun, different through lines and ideas and threads, and I love all of your ideas, and I love all of your ideas, Austin. You guys have all, collectively, everybody in the chat has all been really great. You've made even doing this book so worth it, because sharing the experience with you has made it 10 times better than just drawing this by myself. So thank you. And I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next stream. I do want to leave you with a few notes on what's going on in the channel coming up, because I think it's only fair. You're here. You guys get to know what's coming on, or what's coming up next. Austin, horror, I prefer monsters and maidens. That sounds cool, monsters and maidens. Why defeat the monster when you can seduce them? That sounds like something I can't stream. I might get demonetized. Monster Spice, Topher, nice naming. I like it, Monster Spice, it's kind of cool. So I did do a poll, and I will switch over here real quick to display capture, and we will navigate there. If I can figure out how. Right, because I know how to use YouTube. Nope, community. There we go. So we did this poll. What do you guys want to see more of? And the vast majority, I mean, we're looking at 65 votes right now. The vast majority want more digital art tutorials. So I will be making more digital art tutorials. I know that, I think it was Callie Does Art requested a line art tutorial a while ago. So I'm probably going to start with that one. But I do also have sketchbook sessions coming soon, because I did just start a new travel sketchbook as my first sketchbook. I just chose travel as the theme, so that I could basically turn my family time where we go on trips into also YouTube time. So I'm double dipping now, Pilfer. I'm double dipping in my time to use it for two purposes. Those are also kind of art lifestyle vids. I do have my office remodeling video coming out soon, so that kind of falls in this category, which some people wanted, 8% of people wanted. I have not started this at all, but it's an idea I do feel very strongly about, so we'll revisit this, we'll come back to it. And obviously the speed paints and stuff, those aren't going anywhere anytime soon, because those are just part of being a digital artist. Those will happen. That said, let me come back on screen. That's not me on screen. Here we go. Double dabbing. No, double dipping, but double dabbing. I don't want to dab. I'm too old to dab Poca Latte. I'm too old. It's not cool when people my age dab. Oh no, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so that's kind of the plan for right now. I'm gonna keep the content very diverse, is what I'm saying. So if you see a video that doesn't speak to you, I hope that you will not unsubscribe based on one video that you see me post, because there will always be others that are in the lane that you subscribed for. So if you're here for digital art tutorials, there will be more digital art tutorials. They're not going anywhere. They're just not living on my channel by themselves. So there will be other content. I'm gonna mix it all together. I'm gonna stir it together like a big old gumbo, right? Like we're gonna have this big old soup of different types of content, but they're all gonna be art-based content. She's a double Adobe dabber from Harry Potter. See, I am a millennial, so I can roll with the Harry Potter puns, because that is what my generation is very well known for, being a little too obsessed with Harry Potter. Yeah, and I'm a Ravenclaw, by the way, just saying. That's it. That's the stream. Thank you guys so much for getting through this page with me. I think it's a really fun page, and I think that next stream, because this is done, my voice, because this one is done, we are definitely going to be using your ideas to create something new here that hasn't been done before. So don't miss it. Come back for that, because this is your opportunity to really navigate and narrate the story as it unfolds. Not just line arting, but actually telling a story from scratch. That's what's coming up. That's the plan, and that's the end of the stream. So thank you guys so much for coming, and I will see you next time. All right?